there's 3 skulls around Borzoi, and then she's also in the net, and then she immediately attacks. And in this small zone, because Borzoi is so small, Borzoi is able to go through with that. That's crazy. But look, for new players, don't like again. Okay, hold on. She does this. She did not land. She dodged, and then she flies. That means by the time she gets here, she will have no boots. She have no boots at the time because she used her down. She used her move that she goes down. She didn't land. She dodged and she fly all the way here. That means she will have no boots to react to anything that Beta throws right now, and she's gonna get punished because that was a landing and she couldn't do anything. So I don't know what is happening here. You see, she landed. There's nothing she could have done. That should be a hard ending because with that distance, I think that's just empty bar, like empty boost bar over there. So run away. Why would you be so close? Why would you be so close? Again, look at that. It's crazy. You don't want to be so close to Beta, or I mean, different characters have different danger zones, right? But Beta especially, you don't want to be this close to Beta, is the thing. That's crazy. So bold. I mean, it is what we want, but still, like, well, what's the best thing he do is to run. Just go horizontally. Just go, not get cornered. Yep, and he's gonna get hit again, and then the burst, and then trigger burst as well. Going for kills. Yeah, okay, yeah, 9. Okay, nice summon though, but absolutely no boost management over here. She bursted. Okay, she should have max boosts over here, right? Because she got hit and then she bursted. That means she should have max boost over here. Even though all this, okay, well, she had max boost here now, but she probably haven't even used half of her boots. So after the burst, she should have max boost afterwards. But even with max boosts, dodge, that's a fly. Yeah, there's nothing she could do at that point. She has no boots after that. So even like, there's no way she could have got down afterwards, because even after she lands, she was get punished by Beta, and that'll be it. Alright, hello everybody. So today I'll be reacting to the replay that Trigger sent me about her matches against the current #1 NA 1v1 players. So first of all, disclaimer, every time I do, I guess, 1v1 content is that, the character in this game are balanced around 2v2s. So if you're a new player, please learn the game in 2v2 first. There's a lot more things going on there, or like there's a lot different strategies and such that's going on there, that you definitely want to know first before you come to 1v1s. At least learn the game first, right? At least learn everything about the game first before going into 1v1s. And usually if you're good in 2v2s, you'll be good in 1v1s. So yeah, that's every time I do 1v1 content, I need to put this disclaimer because there might be a new player watching. And but with that being said, if you're a player who, after you finish learning the game in 2v2s and you want to try 1v1s, or you just like 1v1 better after you learn the game in 2v2s, there are still some tips or some things that could potentially talk about that can be helpful in 1v1 situations, right? Because there are strategy in 1v1s that might only work in 1v1 or something like that, right? Depending on the situations. So and another disclaimer is that I'm nowhere near top. I'm not a #1 player. I'm not like tournament level player, I guess. I know like the basics. I started the game from Gundam vs Gundam, and I know the basics. I'm not. I just want to say that before before anything, right? I know on my video, or in my videos, I have videos where I got #1 in NA or in ranked, or if I'm fighting against some top players. Now the rankings in NA, like even in 2v2s, I think for the most part, but especially in 1v1s, if you just play the game, if you just care enough, there is like you can get into higher points, if not number one, even if you're not like the best player, you know, in the world, I guess, or or like a god tier player, especially 1v1 at least, you know, as long as you care enough, because of how the system works, you can get to number one, like you can get a number one fairly easily, or at least you can keep a number one fairly easily, as long as you're above certain level of fundamentals, because at that point it just really depends on how much you want to play the game. It's not like, I guess, like a skill assessment, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, yes, like ranking does not transfer to your skills. It probably can do it to some degree, but the higher the ranking, right? After you go to 8K, or you know, the higher ranking doesn't mean the higher the skill. It just means that how much you care about your ranking, or I guess how much you play, which I mean, I guess it can translate to skill, but just keep that in mind, right? Someone in 8K, someone even in 7K, someone even in 6K, or you know, in lower rankings might be better than someone who is in 8K, because the person who is in 8K might just care more, you know. So just put all those disclaimer out of the way. In the future videos, you know, if you want to send me any video to react to, or you know, any video to commentate over, there wouldn't be much of this. They'll probably just be very short before I start a video. But because this is the first time I do this, it is a bit longer. So another thing is, I watched this video before. I watched this replay before, like when it just happened. But I definitely want to replay because I think it is something that is pretty interesting to talk about, especially when it is, you know, her against the number one player at the time. Also at the time of recording this video, she is also 8K now. She's 8K in both NA 1v1 and NA 2v2s. So yeah, and she's able to beat the number of players, which is probably a spoiler. I'll probably cut this out, but yeah, we'll see. Alright, so with that being said, let's get started. So against the number one players, and okay, so IneBowJob or Bow, I don't know which one it is, IneBowJob or IneBowJob. Like, I'm not sure if she's bowing or if she's using the bow, but that's Trigger's name. So I'm gonna be referring to her as, I'm gonna be referring her to Trigger from now on. So you know, just bear with me here, because I'm not gonna be saying IneBowJob for the rest of the video. So yeah, all right. So immediately, I don't know why the number one player does this. Now, okay, I don't think I want to keep on referring this person to the number one player. I think I'll just refer it to as this player, probably. It's probably easier. Yeah. So this player, I don't know why he immediately uses that, because I don't think okay. It's much better. Like, it's much better if he were to use it after he gets closer, because that move is the move that blocks the projectiles, and it is a crucial move for Ricky to go in, because you know, it's not like Ricky has anything else, I guess, or has, because it's not like Ricky has much else, right? So I don't know why he would use that, especially at that range. I don't even think that range is red lock for Reiki. So yeah, I think it's a misplay here. Maybe he just want to close distance, but you know, even just closing distance, just normal boosting will really do the trick and such. Yeah, because now, as you can see, he's gonna get punished. Yeah, he's gonna get punished because, you know, again, why? Like, why does he? It's fine. So far, so good. I'm not sure if that one's armored, but I think all the shot from the slide hits him. So even if he's in armor at the time, or even if you try to use armor move at a time, it is max knockdown value. So yeah. But again, I wouldn't be like, even that, I wouldn't be going so close to, you know, to Reiki. So as you can see here, right? You can see how when he uses a dasher, he's able to block two projectile and then get very close to Ine, which is very dangerous for Ina at this point. That's the time where you should use it. You know, that's the time where you should use that dash and not at the beginning of the game, I think. Because again, for melee unit especially, missing one combo or getting one combo or missing one combo can make a huge difference because of just how much damage you can take off the opponents, right? So yeah. Nice. Oh, I'm gonna go back to look at this. Yeah, she don't have any more boosts left, so I think she did her best. Major counter, I don't know. I don't know why she counters here. Because or at least at her level, or at this level of gameplay, I think it's probably like people now should have the knowledge or should have the reaction speed to like react to a melee. So like, I think it's a lot safer to like use a counter after she sees the Reiki start doing a melee attack, right? So it forces, like, if the Reiki also saw it, then it forces Reiki to dodge or to do something else, or at least to wait for the counter to finish. And at the time, Trigger can also react to something, to whatever that Reiki is gonna do, right? So but I think that, yeah, I mean, it's not like it wouldn't work, in like lower level, because sometimes people will still just go melee you even if you're in a counter stance. But I just think, at this level, I think it's way too risky. Yeah, I know. Okay, I don't know why he does that, because I mean, that's fine if you try to do like a continuous attack while someone's down. So if the opponents are like a bit more trigger happy or a bit more like to move a lot more, then it can potentially catch opponents. But I'm not sure if Reiki has those kind of moves. And if you keep on doing that, that just makes you have a boost disadvantage by the time your opponent gets up, and your opponents will have a max boost against your boost that is 40% gone or something like that, right? So it could set up for easy punished for the opponents. Yeah, like right now, I don't think Reiki can do. Yeah, I don't think Reiki can do anything about that, because it is just landing lag. I don't even think she needs to do the ult over there, because I think the rain already got it. Yeah. Yeah. Bit laggy? Yeah, I'm not sure if she can do much about that. I think she on a boost, right? Borzoid. Not bad. I'm not sure how it went if she were to just land it, but should be fine. That's so crazy. I always underestimate Borzoid's special melee. So that's crazy. There's a crazy catch over there as well. But I think it's so risky though, because a lot of time I see Trigger doing this. She also, yeah, she got up too early, or at least she moved too early, because she's still in the hitbox, or I guess she's still in like the zone. I guess she could have just wait a little bit until either fly out of the net or just last a bit longer in her invincibility, because a lot of players that I see that mess up in 1v1s is because they don't know that, okay, you have invincibility after you get up, so you can just get away, right? Get away before enemy do something, right? But I assume that what's it called? I assume that probably because she's close, so she want to melee people, which is something that people does do, including me, right? Sometimes after someone gets up and if I have a move ready, I will throw out the move and I'll get close on purpose, so the opponents want to immediately attack me, but then they get hit by the move that I threw out, that maybe they don't think they'll get hit by or something like that. So yeah. But again, I would say that's also similar. If she had just waited a little bit, she definitely wouldn't get hit by that. Getting up is, so it's definitely very important to utilize your invincibility most of the time. Because if your opponent presents herself, or if your opponent presents herself, after you get up, as if it is like easy attack, assume something is up. Assume something is up, because a lot of the time they are this close on purpose, not because they're careless, but because they might be setting up something. Especially if you're against a character who is not melee focused, right? Because why would a range focus unit go so close to you, when they're at a disadvantage at this range, right? So I will always assume that to happen, even if it doesn't matter in closer, in lower ranked. Just to prepare you for higher rank, assume they're baiting you to end your invincibility early. So, yeah, because I think at least for new players, right? For new players, I guess, yeah, okay. Because I think for melee characters, most new player would know sooner or later that, okay, you should get out of the way. But I guess people can still lose their guard if your opponents, if you're a melee characters, but then your opponents go so close, and that's exactly what what they want to bait you to do. So, also right here, I think what she did is she dodged after this one, but you can see that she's landed. Usually, if your boots are not at max, or even if your boots are at blue, there's still a small window of lag, whenever someone lands it, right? Especially if you're at yellow boots, or at least or you're at 0 boots, right? So usually there's lag, and she couldn't do anything at the moment. But I don't know why I mean, I guess she can potentially guard it. Maybe that could have worked, but even if you guard it, right? Like, even if you guard, or even if you get guarded in red burst, it doesn't matter that much, because because you immediately get sub and can melee again. And I'm not really sure if that master have anything fast enough to counteract a red burst, um a red burst close range unit at that range. So yeah, let's cancel to the burst though. Didn't kill because I think the shot reduces damage a little bit. Okay, again, I think, okay, they worked out, right? It worked out at the end, but that's way too risky. That is way too risky. Look at that. There's skull on top of her. There's the net, but then the Borzoi, maybe because Borzoi's smaller, hitbox, it just managed to dodge all of that. I don't know how that works, or I don't know how that happens. Like, otherwise, I don't know how that happens. 'Cause look at that. There's 3 skulls around Borzoid, and then she's also in the net, and then she immediately attacks. And in this small zone, because Borzoid is so small, Borzoid is able to go through with that. That's crazy. But yeah, but look, for new players, don't again. Most of the time, a range unit or a mid range unit or a long range unit are this close to you when you're getting up. When you're a meta character, they're trying to bait you to do something. They have the thing set up, which in this case, it is pretty clearly a setup. But because Borzoi being OP, or I guess Trigger being OP, or probably it's because Trigger calculated all this, who knows? Borzoi has managed to get the win, which is crazy. Because, if she didn't do this, right? If she were to miss time this or whatever, the whole match can be a lot different. With one stock down and such. So yeah, but I find it very funny. That, hey, third time the charm, right? The third time is the charm. But the thing is, the funny thing is, the third time is the time where all the setup was there, right? She set up everything. She set up the skulls, she set up the net, but it didn't work. All the other 2 times, I don't think she set up that much actually, or at least not that well of a setup. So yeah, well done, Trigger, well done. But again, risky though. Okay, I don't think she should have shield right there. I think she should have just let it going. Yeah, it at least forces her to shield. Now I don't know what happened after that. Like I think she still could have punished the Borzoid, but I think she really should have just continued. Yeah, I think she should have just continued. Because that is a landing. That should be a landing lag, I think, right? Let me see it. We should be able to see it. Yeah, landing. See, when they're in landing line, they couldn't do much. Like the fastest thing that she could do at a time is probably a block. Which if you make them use up their block, first of all, you get some boost back, right? Borzoi gets some boost back if she were to block it. And also, what else? I was gonna say something. And you know, or I guess what happened next would be up to, I guess, chance, or like, you know, just depending on how they play, right? So I think she should have continued. Well, I was yeah. I don't even think she could have blocked there because she used her block, right? So yeah, I don't know why he does that. Maybe to land. I don't know. Okay, okay. Hold on. She does this. She did not land. She dodged, and then she flies. That means by the time she gets here, she will have no boots. She have no boots at the time because she used her down. She used her move that she goes down. She didn't land. She dodged and she fly all the way here. I mean, she will have no boots to react to anything that Beta throws right now, and she's gonna get punished because that was a landing and she couldn't do anything. So I don't know what is happening here. You see, she landed. There's nothing she could have done. That should be a hard ending because with that distance, I think that's just empty bar, like empty boost bar over there. So yeah, and then just a hard punish. Nice dodge on thing, and then danger zone. Yeah, with most characters with like I guess or at least against Beta, right? Beta or you know some other character who have as fast or maybe as large of well, mostly as fast of a melee. Usually you don't want to go near their danger zone, which because the moment you're in there, any single time or any frame, she is able to throw that out and get you flying just like that, right? So, and then you're gonna get punished again. The crazy about Beta is that she's like the starter characters, and she's able to do this. Like, even right now, that's way too dangerous. Again, anytime Beta can just throw that out. The best thing that she can do is to get the hell out. Just fly away, and not be cornered like this against a Beta. And well, I mean, Beta don't even need to do that because she just used a summon and still hit her with a summon. What is this fall animation? Good summon though. I feel like it might be out of her camera at the time as well. So, she'll have to back dodge or something like that to dodge it. Which, again, because you know because he's forced to, or because that player is forced to do that. You know, Trigger can also react to something about that. So that's crazy. Again, run away. Why would you be so close? Why would you be so close? Again, look at that. It's crazy. You don't want to be so close to Beta, or you know, or I mean, different characters have different danger zones, right? But Beta especially, you don't want to be this close to Beta. Is the thing. That's crazy. So bold. I mean, it is what we want, but still, like, well, what's the best thing he'd do is to run. Just go horizontally. Just go. Not get cornered. Yep, and he's gonna get hit again, and then the burst, and then trigger burst as well. Going for kills. Yeah, okay, yeah, 9. Okay, nice summon though, but absolutely no boost management over here. She burst it. Okay, she should have max boosts over here, right? Because she got hit and then she bursted. That means she should have max boost over here. Even though all this, okay, well, she had max boost here now, but she probably haven't even used half of her boots. So after the burst, she should have max boost afterwards. But even with max boosts, dodge, that's a fly. Yeah, there's nothing she could do at that point. She has no boots after that. So even like, there's no way she could have got down afterwards, because even after she lands, she was get punished by Beta, and that'll be it. So I think it was a good match. But the normal player, I think, definitely make. I mean, we can see the normal player definitely know how to play the game, especially, right. But you can see that I don't think his fundamentals are, I guess, are being too high. Of course, unless he's going easy on trigger or something like that. But I don't think his fundamentals are anywhere that is surpass the people around AK or something like that, right? Um, especially in 2v now, because I know there are some people who's good in 2v2s and then some people good in 1v1s. I don't know how good he is in 2v2s, but the biggest thing about 2v2s is you need to know boost management, and unless he's just playing for fun at the moment, it doesn't seem like his boost management are like the best. Not that the thing is, I don't think either players really care about boost management in this match, per se. But I think most of the deciding factor, especially when trigger hits him, are usually when he ran out of boots, because he just, I guess, trying to, boosting too much, I guess, which is fine, right? I guess well, it's not fine, but it is like, at least they're getting punished while boosting, because at a certain stage, because new players, what I see the most is they get hit even before their boost is used up. But at least but at least at higher stages, then usually people are only getting hit after the boost is used up, because that's the only time where you could move and you get hit by that. That's the most of the time. But if you want to go a level higher, right? A level higher, especially in 2v2s, where the only way to hit someone, or most of the time to hit someone or to punish someone, is when they are either out of boost or when they're in boost advantages, right? So I think that's the next level of fundamentals. And if you're finding okay, I'm not saying neither of them doesn't know how to do that. I'm pretty sure both of them probably knows, especially in 2v2s. But if let's say if someone is here, like a tryhard, a sweaty tryhard, who's counting boosts, who is going for boost management, or going for boost advantage and such, then it can be very tough for players who doesn't know how to do that, right? Or doesn't know about boost management, doesn't know about boost advantage and such. Because suddenly, even if your fundamentals are good enough, you will start to wonder, okay, why couldn't I hit him, and why is he hitting me all the time, right? Because maybe because the top players are making you use out of boost more often and making you land more often. Because when you're landing, that's the prime time to be punished. So yeah. But overall, I think it was a good match, and that's my commentary about it. But I just want to say, I'm nowhere near a top player. I'm just saying what I'm just saying, like, my thoughts, right? When I'm watching this, when I'm watching this video, and of course, because this game is a fighting game, real-time fighting game, what happened in the match doesn't translate into their actual skills. Because anything can happen, right? Because maybe you're more stressful at that time, maybe whatever other things happening, maybe they're actually going easy on each other, or maybe they're just playing casually. There could be a lot of reasons, or maybe or maybe they're just not trying as hard and such. So just know that it doesn't translate. Even them making the mistakes might not exactly be their skills, because they might care more when they're climbing to AK, or they might care more when they're in different situations, right, and such. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested, feel free to send me your replays for me to comment in and such. Well, I don't think I can do that great on 2v2's commentaries, because I usually watch 2v2 commentaries. I don't think I can do it to their level. But in 1v1 commentaries, I think I should be able to do that, considering I played 1v1 a lot as well. So. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching, and see you all next time. Goodbye.